Generating traffic and sales can be a challenge for online merchants. But selling on the Walmart Marketplace puts your products in front of millions of customers who shop on Walmart.com. And right now, sellers who join Walmart Marketplace can save up to 50% on referral and fulfillment fees for the first 90 days. So get started today. Head over to marketplace.walmart.com/savings. That's marketplace.walmart.com/savings.
Today's podcast is sponsored by SLI Systems, providers of intelligent site search and navigation solutions. Learn more at sli-systems.com and listen to their interviews at ecommercepodcast.com. Welcome to the E-Commerce Conversation with Pat Callahan, a weekly podcast focusing on e-commerce topics, featuring interviews with prominent people in the e-commerce space. This week we join Pat for part 2 of an interview with Jim Miotke of BetterPhoto.com.
Welcome to E-Commerce Conversations with Pat Callahan. Today we're joined by Jim Miotke, president of BetterPhoto.com. Welcome, Jim.
Hi, Pat. Thanks for having me on the show.
It's great to have you on the show. We appreciate your time. Let's start out with, what is BetterPhoto.com?
BetterPhoto.com is an online community of photographers, and we offer online photography classes where people can learn from the pros wherever they are from the comfort of their own hometown.
Let me ask you this. Where do you guys find your instructors? How do you guys go about that?
Great question. I'm so grateful for the instructor corps that we have, and really it's just been a matter of looking and listening to that inner voice. When we go out recruiting instructors, we look for 3 things. They have to have stunning imagery, just mind-blowingly beautiful stuff. They have to know how to write, which we take as a good qualifier of that is that they're published. And usually our instructors are published in the how-to book market, but some of them have written articles, and either way they know how to write. And then the third thing is we just look for people that are just, really easy to get along with. There's a lot of ego in the artistic fields like photography, and we just don't want that. We want to enjoy who we're working with. So I started just by looking for people like that, and then they referred people, and then we also look, through the bookstores, and we look at Amazon.com, and I'm constantly emailing potential instructors and asking them, telling them about how it works, and seeing if they're interested.
How are the classes structured? Are these online courses? They're self-paced?
They are online. They're entirely done through the internet. So what happens is you'll sign up for, say, that class of Perfect Digital Exposure with Jim Zuckerman, and it goes for 8 weeks. And so on a specific date, say the next one, for example, starts on the first Wednesday in October. So on that date, you'll get your first lesson via email. And you'll get this lesson, and you'll be able to read it, at your leisure. And at the bottom of the lesson, after learning about, say some topic about exposure, you'll have an assignment. And Jim will give you an assignment where you'll be asked to, say, go photograph maybe a subject with a slow shutter speed, for example. And you'll have about 10 days to go out and photograph that subject, and then you'll upload the results, and then Jim, or your instructor, whoever it is, will come and critique your work and tell you whether, you got it, or whether, maybe if you tried a different exposure, it would have been a little bit different, posed it differently. So he writes the critique, and then you check it out online. So it's an interesting hybrid kind of thing where you don't have to be at your computer at a particular time. You can take it in your own time, but you also get immediate feedback, very prompt response from this mentor, this pro who's helping you out for the 8 weeks in that example, or many of our classes are 4 weeks.
Okay.
For a month or 2 month period, and you're set and ready to go.
What is the cost associated?
Yeah, the 8-week classes cost between $297 and $348, and the 4-week classes are $188.
And what about skill level that you come in with?
That's a fantastic question too, and many people, we get a lot of new visitors on the site, and many of them are newbies, and they're mostly concerned with, skill. Is this class going to be right for them? So we have all our classes classified into 4 skill levels, and they range from beginner to serious hobbyist to intermediate or to advanced. And most of our classes and most of our visitors are in the serious hobbyist or intermediate area. That's the big one. And so, there are many classes in those areas, but if you're totally new to photography, a lot of those classes, like those ones that I mentioned earlier, the camera classes, they are designed specifically to just take someone who just got their camera and they just want to start having fun. And if you start talking about things like aperture or fill flash or noise, those terms are new to them. So we understand that.
Yeah. I think it's a great idea to have to offer 4 different skill levels, especially for photography.
Yeah, it's something that can be very intimidating at first, and you want to be kind of paired up, because one of the really fun things about the classes is that you make friends and you meet people, you become part of this community with people from all over the world, and you definitely, it's a lot more fun if you're in a class with your peers, and you don't feel totally intimidated by the work of the other students.
I think that's true for most classroom environments, I would think.
Yeah, exactly. It's very true. You want to be kind of, put in the right place. And one thing that I love about the online environment is that there's this degree of anonymity. If you're a little timid or, you're just not the kind of person who raises their hand in class all the time, it just feels safer.
I think that's a great point, because I think a lot of times, and I don't know if there's anyone in the free world that's spent more time in school than I have. Not for that reason. I just.
Are you a perennial student?
No, but I was. I did get my master's recently after getting my BA, so I've spent plenty of time in I've spent plenty of time in school and plenty of time in classes. So, but I think you do find that group of people that would really rather not raise their hand.
Right.
And I think the point that you bring up is a great one, because it just offers you definitely a different environment to where you can ask anything you feel like asking. And,
yeah, exactly.
And to not be intimidated by the rest of the class.
Because you're not being put on the spot. You have time to formulate your question and really think about it and read over some other, previously entered questions or answers, and, get a good idea before you're not going to be like getting up in front of a crowd of people.
How about the grading structure? Tell me how that works.
The grading structure?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a fantastic question too, because I forgot to mention that it's, we really like to try to keep things really fun. So for the most part, it's very open and it's just fun. We've thought many times about, getting accredited and allowing it to be an official kind of thing, but I always shy away from that because I fear it'll take the fun out of it when we're having to teach a certain amount of things. And so people get a certificate when they complete 7 out of the 8 lessons or 3 out of the 4 lessons, and then they're given this certificate of completion. But other than that, there's no real grading. It's just a matter of if you get it or if you don't.
Well, I think that's a very innovative idea. I mean, I've certainly been around a lot of people who stress level goes up quite a bit when they know there's letter grades.
They do. Yeah, you really can get on the spot. Now, there's one thing that we do, And that's in the classes. Every week there's a designation called Photo of the Week. And a student can get selected as having their upload be a Photo of the Week. And all that really is that the instructor is saying, this photo, either it really just knocks my socks off, or it really exemplifies the principles that we were trying to learn in this class. And it gives the other students, a visual reference where they can actually see, because often they don't quite get it through the text. Maybe it's a little unclear, not sure. But when they see the photo, they go, oh, now I get it. You were talking about that kind of photo.
Exactly.
That's all the time we have for this week's e-commerce conversations with Pat Callahan. Thank you for listening. Join Pat next week for the conclusion of the interview with Jim Miotke of BetterPhoto.com.